Go. It feels a little weird doing it here in this space at the moment because it's not quite um, as I want it. But we'll get it sorted out. Right, I thought that we would do some really lovely flow and working into the shoulders, working through a forearm plank, and then working up towards Dolphin. So really sort of doing some shoulder strengthening work. So I think what we'll just do is settle first here in this seated position, and then we're going to make our way to standing quite quickly. So if you'd like to bring your index finger to your thumb, rolling your palms up and allow the arms to be lovely and soft. And then feel into those sit bones. You can allow the eyes to close. Just take a moment to really arrive on your mat. So that might mean just allow yourself to focus in on the breath. And then taking a moment to let the mind settle. So just becoming aware of the busyness and perhaps the activity that's occurred prior to sitting down on your mat, commencing this practice, and where you are now, making a commitment to yourself during the course of this next hour. And then again, allowing full attention to sink into the body, particularly into your hips, your sit bones, the legs, allowing the legs to descend down, really releasing as much as you can the weight of the legs. And as you do that, notice if it has a tendency to sort of reflect further up in the spine and cause the spine to want to bow slightly. Because as we allow our legs to soften and release the weight down, it is asking more of the core. So it's a fine balancing act between softening into the legs but maintaining this nice long spine. So the abdominal muscles do have to switch on. And the back of the body is also working. And now settling back your attention back onto your breath. Begin to practice Ujjayi breathing. Just going to sit with Ujjayi for several rounds. Really allow the belly to be soft as you inhale. Hearing that little soft harring at the back of the throat on the inhale. Maybe it's a little bit softer, not as pronounced or intense on the exhale. Aiming to be soft in the shoulders, shoulder blades sliding down the back, crown of the head working up towards the ceiling, still soft at the hip joint. So we're just going to take 2 more rounds of breath in this position. And then allowing the eyes to open. Releasing the fingers and really opening up the palms and lengthening the arms away and sending them out down by the side of the body. Inhaling and then really lengthening out and exhaling. Just lift the heart a little bit, so you're taking the arms back. Just a soft lifting through the heart so you can feel it working into the back. Breathing, still maintaining your Ujjayi breath. Okay, on your next inhale, the arms up, really lengthening through the arms, bringing the hands together, interlacing the fingers, gazing up and pressing the palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale again here, lengthening, and exhale, coming over to your right hand side. Holding here for a count of 1, and inhale, exhale. On your inhale, lifting back to center. Exhaling over to the opposite side, taking a full round of breath, count of 1. Inhaling, lifting back to center. Exhaling, releasing the hands and interlacing them behind you and drawing them all the way down towards the floor, lifting the heart center. You may even just want to press through the fingertips. Breathing, inhaling, exhaling, draw the shoulder blades back, inhale. Exhale, release the hands and wrap the arms around you, dip the chin, giving yourself a hug, really walking the fingers in across the shoulder blades, feeling that pull, gently pulling between the shoulder blades into the rhomboids. Breathing into the back of the body. Taking one more round of breath. And releasing on your exhale, spinning over onto your knees. So finding your tabletop position, Hasta Bandha switched on. Just checking in with the wrists for a moment, noticing how they feel. And let's take some lovely soft cat-cows. Really working through the full range of movement through the back. And making sure that we tuck the chin in cat and we open up through the throat chakra in our cow. So really rolling in the spine and working the chakra points. Just taking one more round through cat-cow. And as you exhale back into cat, holding it, tuck the toes. Continue to hold through cat, pressing into the heels of the hands, finding that arch and press through the toes so that you're also working into the plantar fascia, the soles of the feet. Inhaling. Exhale, come back into tabletop. Okay, so just that. Now let's take our forearms down onto the mat and explore for a moment in this posture, just grounding down through the hands, grounding into the forearms and hugging the elbows towards the hips. So you're not actually moving. So this is isometric action through the muscles, but you can really feel this switching on and drawing back. What's happening in the belly? So let's just draw the belly button in towards the spine and see if you can lift up through Mula Bandha. So we've got a nice, strong spine. Breathing. And then holding your Mula Bandha, the belly in towards the spine. See if you can walk the knees away. Walking the knees away. And we're coming into sort of a soft version of a plank pose. So we're still on the knees, but the knees have slid away. Shoulders stacking over the elbows, really working nice and strongly through the forearms. And then see if you can move through the legs a little bit more so that we're really lengthening through the spine now. And even working the hips down towards the mat so that we're creating a long sort of length in the spine. So we're still on our knees, creating this plank position. The bottom's not really sticking up into the air, And we're really having to work into the upper abdominal space now. So you may want to try to engage Uddiyana Bandha here. Breathing. Taking one more round of breath. And then slide or walk the knees back up to underneath the hips. Tuck the toes. Okay, coming up onto your hands and then lift into downward facing dog. Okay, so in downward facing dog, let's come onto the balls of the feet. Inhale, lift high on the balls of the feet, and then exhale, heels come down to the mat. So we'll do this 5 times. Just want to feel into the back of the calf muscle, into the hamstring. So using the inhale to lift up, exhale to sink back down. One more round of breath. Okay, nice and strong through the hands. Inhale, float over into a high plank. Exhale, knees towards the mat and press your way back into downward facing dog. So we start to undulate. So inhaling. As you come over in this high plank, see if you can roll and round through the back. So it's as though you're doing a cat roll. So really arch through the spine as you come over. And then dipping the knees down into your downward facing dog. Lovely. So really rolling through and over into high plank. Really nice. And then knees coming back into downward facing dog. So just to do this a couple more times. Just checking in to make sure that those hands are switched on. And we're going to end up back in our downward facing dog. Okay, from downward facing dog, see if you can ground down through the feet and then walk the hands in towards the toes. So we're coming to the back of the mat. Nice and soft through the knees and hang down. So hang down in Uttanasana. Let go of the upper body weight is soft, and then just taking a little bit of a swing from side to side. So really allowing the upper body to be nice and soft. Belly can be resting onto the thighs. You're going to come up in a minute, and we want to come up with a nice long spine. So allow the body to come back to neutral. Okay, just keeping those knees soft. Let's keep the back long as we inhale and stand up, bringing the hands overhead, and exhale, hands come down through the midline. Taking the hands down into down by the thighs. I'm just going to stand to face you for a moment. Coming into Tadasana. So Tadasana, just what we were working on last week, really pressing down into the big toe and the inner side of the foot. So really pressing down so that you can feel this internal rotation here at the hip. Lifting up out of the hips, fingertips working down towards the mat. Nice and long through the spine, crown of the head working up. Breathing. So come back to your Ujjayi breath. So 5 rounds. Keep on grounding down through the feet. One more round. Okay, from there, let's walk to the top of the mat. Coming to the top of the mat. Just going to move this a little further in, I'm a bit too close to the wall. Okay, we're going to practice with our feet together. So bringing the feet together, just stand like that for the time being and notice how that feels. So for some of us, when we practice like this, it may be a familiar position. For others, it may not. And it can feel a little unusual. Give it a go. If you need to adjust so that you bring your feet back so that they are underneath the hips, that's okay. What this does is it allows a little bit more of this flaring in, spiralling in of the thigh. So again, pressing down through the big toe, in the edges of the feet, and feel that spiralling in that's happening of the thighs, and that slight, it's a sort of minute broadening through the back of the pelvis. Okay, let's inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, hands down through the midline. Let's float these arms back again, inhaling, gazing to thumbs, and exhale. Next time we inhale the arms up, we're going to stay here, interlace the fingers, and come into Kali Mudra, so it's the index finger that's joining, thumbs crossing, then lengthen through the body. So we're working the fingertips up towards the ceiling, pressing into the ball of the foot, really engaging through the feet, tucking the tailbone and spiraling the thighs in. And then lengthen again. So just keep on lengthening through the side ribs, side waist, and aiming to be as soft as you can be in the shoulders whilst the arms are active. So we're really lengthening through the whole of the body here. Working with your Ujjayi breath throughout. On your next exhale, take a little bit of back bend. Inhale, come back to center. Sorry, I was getting my inhale, exhale mixed up. Inhaling here, and then again, exhale, come back into a baby back bend. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, back into your baby back bend. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, allow the hands to come down through the midline. Okay, this time we're coming into Surya Namaskar A, so inhaling. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lift to halfway. Just going to pause here for a moment. So, for this halfway position, have the knees slightly soft. Hands can come to thighs, shins, or fingertips can brush the floor. Wherever it is that we are, we want to have a nice long spine. So we're just aiming to maintain that nice long spine, almost as though you could balance the teacup, the saucer on your back. That's what we're looking for. And then just think about the positioning of the head. It's really easy to lift the head and gaze forward. So we've got this cranking through the back of the neck. So we want to just take the gaze down, just ahead of the fingers, and get a sense that we are lengthening the tailbone in one direction, the crown of the head in the other, and we're nice and long through the neck. On your next exhale, exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, lift back up to this halfway position. Exhale, fold deeply. And then inhale once more to this halfway position. This time as you exhale, step back, right, left into your plank, holding plank and come onto the knees, and then come onto the forearms. Coming onto the forearms and finding this long plank from the knees again. So we really do have to set up in the bandhas, drawing Uddiyana Bandha, and it works the upper abdominal muscles. Holding, breathing, soften the shoulders. Grounding down through the hands and the arms. And on your next exhale, roll the thighs down onto the mat, so it should be quite close. And then slide the hands underneath the shoulders, wing those elbows in, lift up into a cobra. Pressing through the tops of the feet, hold cobra. Shoulders sliding down the back, and then exhale, come back down. Just lifting once more, no, twice more, up into cobra, and coming back down again. Once more, lifting into cobra, shoulders sliding down the back. Oh, lovely. Releasing back down onto the mat. I got a real sort of energy release then. Press your way back through a tabletop position, and then into downward facing dog. Holding downward facing dog, 3 rounds of breath. Inhaling and exhaling with Ujjayi breath. Okay, inhaling, looking forward. You can either step, walk, or hop your way towards the top of the mat. And fold down. Okay, bring the feet together so you can really ground the inner edges of the feet together, and soft through the knees. We're going to inhale, lift ourselves back up, gazing to thumbs, and exhale, hands come down. Just resting here for a moment, shoulders down the back, grounding, rooting down through the feet, tailbone tucked, long in the spine, crown working up. Inhale, exhale, hands come down by your sides. Inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up to halfway, thinking about what we were focusing on. Exhale, stepping back, left, right, into your plank pose. Come down onto the knees, onto the forearms. And then lengthening again in this posture, getting a nice long length all the way from the knees through to the hips and the back. Drawing shoulder blades down the back again, breathing. Working with your bandhas. One more round of breath. Inhale here, and then exhale, roll down. Rolling down, hands come underneath the shoulders, and bring yourself into cobra. Let's flow down twice more. Inhaling. Exhale. Making sure that you're engaging through your legs. Oh, lovely. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Press your way through a tabletop and then into downward facing dog again. 3 rounds of breath. Engaging your bandhas, looking forward, you can step, walk, or hop your way to the top of the mat. Bring the feet together again, fold down. Okay, engaging through the feet, inhale, nice and long as you come to stand up. Exhaling, hands down through the midline. Holding here, 5 rounds of breath, Ujjayi. One more round. Hands coming down by the sides again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float your way down. Inhale, lift to halfway. Exhale, step back, right, left, plank. This time we come down onto our knees, chest, chin. Lift into cobra. Come back through your tabletop and into downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. Looking forward, inhale, hop, walk, or jump. Fold down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to the heart, hands all the way down by the sides. Back into Tadasana, feet together. Inhaling. Exhale, working the opposite side. Lift halfway. Stepping back. Left, right, this time into your plank. Then coming down, knees, chest, chin, 8-pointed. I forgot what it is for now. And then pressing your way back into downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. Looking forward, inhale, come to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, coming to stand. Hands coming back through the midline. Feet together. Breathing. 5 rounds of breath. Ujjayi. Inhaling. Exhale, hands come down by the sides. Okay, so we're going to step back on our right foot. I'm going to do that with you actually so that you can still see me, I can see you. So floating that right foot back, come into warrior 1. Warrior one legs. So get that back leg really engaged, pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. Sweep the arms up and hands can come together again in Kali Mudra. Hips are forward, press into the big toe of the front foot. Really press the ball of the foot in. Inhaling, lengthen through the spine. Knee needs to be stacked over that front ankle. Breathing. One more round of breath. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step back into your plank and come down. Either knees roll down or knees, chest, chin. Lifting into cobra. Exhale down to the mat. Pressure weight either directly into downward facing dog or come through tabletop. Inhaling 3 rounds of breath, downward facing dog. And if you're going to jump forward, set your banders and then hop forward or step or walk. Exhale. Inhale, lifting up, feet are still together, ideally. Exhaling, hands come down through the midline, hands all the way down to the sides. Inhaling, opposite side. Exhale, hands onto the hips and step back, floating back. Left leg comes back. I'm just going to change position so I can see. Okay, lifting the hands up. Kali Mudra. Grounding down again, outer edge of that back foot. Front knee stacking over the ankle. Pressing the big toes in and then squeeze your inner thighs in. Lift up through Mula Bandha. Really switching on Mula Bandha, breathing. One more round. Exhale, hands down, training the front foot, step into your plank or half plank. Come down onto the mat. You may want to come down through Chaturanga if it's in your practice. Come down how you wish, lifting into cobra, then coming through tabletop maybe, and into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Inhaling, looking forward, you can step walk or hop your way to the top of the mat, fold down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, hands down through the midline. Hands resting at the heart center. 5 rounds, Ujjayi. Checking that the feet are together. Exhale, hands down by the sides. Okay, we're going to come back into warrior 2 legs this time. Well, it's the warrior foundation, so moving the legs, floating that right leg back, finding your warrior 2 posture, just in the foundational part with the legs, and then floating the arms up. Draw the shoulder blades in towards each other. Holding. So 5 rounds of breath. So really spiraling that back thigh out, and the front thigh can also spiral out. That means that we're tucking the tail, nice and strong, outer edge of the back foot, big toe, and outer edge of the front foot. On your next exhale, windmill both hands down to the mat, and step back. And we're going to come into a plank, but then drop the knees and come onto that forearm plank again. And then once you're down on your forearms, find your forearm plank. Now here, if you'd like to, you can stay working from your knees, or you can lift up and come into a full forearm plank. If you're in the full version, you really need to switch your bandhas on and press the heels away, really engaging through your forearms and breathing. One more round of breath. And exhale, knees down and roll yourself down onto the mat. Okay, you're moving the hands underneath the shoulders and then take them wide. We're going to inhale, float the hands up, holding. So holding your low cobra, grounding the hips down into the mat. Working with your breath. Ujjayi. Exhale, hands down underneath the shoulders again, wing those elbows in and come through a tabletop perhaps to come into your downward facing dog. 5 rounds of breath in downward facing dog this time. One more round. Inhale, looking forward in the step walk or hop. Top of the mat and fall down. My mat moves then. Inhale. Exhale. Hands coming down all the way down to the sides of the body there. And then floating that left leg back. Bind your foundation with the legs, tucking the tailbone. Both thighs are spiraling out, and then sweep the arms up. Five rounds of breath. Inhale, windmill arms over, and step back again, coming into your low plank from the knees. Stay here if this is where you want to practice, or come into the full plank. 6 rounds of breath. Exhale, knees rolling down. And again, taking the hands underneath the shoulders and out wide. And inhale, float up and hold. Keep on grounding through the tops of the feet into the thighs. Exhale, hands underneath the shoulders again, wing those elbows in, press through into downward facing dog. 5 rounds of breath. Okay, from here, sink your knees down onto the mat. Draw the knees together, and for a moment, we're just going to come down into Balasana for a rest. So folding over, allow yourself to rest in Balasana for a moment. So breathing into the back of your body, feeling the expansion of the breath through the rib cage, back of the heart chakra shining. Still maintaining your Ujjayi breath. Okay, one more round of breath. And then lifting back up. Okay, coming into your tabletop for a moment, and then laying those forearms back down. We're going to explore our dolphin pose. So let's just engage through your bandhas again. So lift up through Mula Bandha. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. And then roll that inner rib, the lower rib, in. Just feeling quite strong and holding here. Okay, we're going to try this twice, or not try it, but practice it twice. So we'll work initially with the hands where they are. So hands and arms forearms are parallel to each other. Switch on the Hasta Bandha as well. So we've got lots going on here. Tuck the toes and then lift up into a baby dolphin position. So your baby dolphin might mean that you've got bent knees, or you might be lengthening out through the legs. But really avoid hyperextension here. So bent knees are probably easier to work with, and then continue to ground through the elbows. So the feet are a long way from the elbows at this stage. Reset the bandhas because they're bound to have slipped. So just reset them. Breathing. One more breath. Exhale, knees down onto the mat. Sit back into extended child's pose. Come onto your fingertips so that you're tenting through the fingers and the hand, and then lengthen out to the arms. Breathing, nice big inhale into the back. Releasing. Exhale, allow the heart to soften. One more breath. Exhaling out of the mouth. Okay, so looking forwards to sliding back onto the forearms again. Okay, and you're going to reset your bandhas. So if that was really strong for you and you want to either stay there or work between staying in this position and working up into dolphin, then coming back down again, then do that. So we'll all do that initially, and then we're going to start to walk the feet towards the elbows. So with the bandhas switched on, lift up into your dolphin pose, have soft knees. Okay, so from here, we'll take a breath here. Inhale here, and then exhale, knees down. Take a breath here. Good reset time. Inhale, exhale, lift back up into dolphin. Okay, so if you know that that's where you want to stay, continue to work between the two. Otherwise, we're going to start to walk the feet towards the elbows. Okay, so gaze, the crown of the head is working down towards the mat, and your gaze is towards the toes. So just walking the feet in. Press back through the forearm, so you have to push the weight back again. This feels really strong. Breathing, really strong through the arms. And then walk the feet back. Allow the knees to come down. And come back into an extended child's pose again. And you come back onto the fingertips. This time, slide the knees wide, toes touching, and allow the heart to soften down between the thighs. Lovely deep inhale into the back body, and then out through the mouth. Twice more. Okay, walk the hands towards the knees, bring the knees together and roll over into Balasana. Soften through the shoulders. Let go of the weight of the arms. Just gently breathing into the back of the body. We're going to come back up into dolphin once more if you would like to do that. or the variation that we also practiced. You can also come back to work in that half plank position because that's really great for building the strength in the shoulders. Okay, so let's come back up, coming to the tabletop position first, then coming down onto our forearms. Okay, so from here, bring your palms together and interlace your fingers. Okay, ground back down through the elbow and the outer edge of the forearm. So you can really feel energy rising up into the upper arm and into the back. Set the banders, tuck the toes, continue to ground through those arms, lots to think about here. And then when you're ready on your inhale, lift up. Keep the knees soft, pressing the weight back, and then beginning to walk the toes in again. Really pressing through the arms and the outer edge of the arm and the hands. So the head, the crown of the head is going to be really close to the mat now, because this is a precursor to a headstand. So keep on adjusting your weight. It's easy for the weight to really come forward. So you're going to have to work through the forearms to press back. Breathing. Holding, working with this, using your banders. One more round of breath. And then walk those feet back again and come into a plank position. Reset the shoulders, draw the shoulders together. Oh, nice and burning here. And then allow the knees to drop and roll your way down onto the mat. And take the arms down on the sides of your body and lay one cheek on the mat. Take a big breath in and sigh out. Oh dear, that was nice and strong through the arms. Turn the toes in. Soft bend through the elbows. Just allowing the breath to come back to its neutral pace or its natural pace. So let's just turn the cheek over to the opposite side, turning the head. And bring the head back to centre again. Okay, let's make our way back towards what is an extended child's pose, but we're not staying there, so we're going to just come back up and roll onto our sit bones. Oh, gosh. So that felt nice and strong. Okay, so we're just going to do a little bit of rolling through the shoulders and a bit of soft twisting as well. So let's just roll shoulders, releasing into the neck and into the upper trap, the back of the body. Okay, now we're going to switch direction, rolling round in the opposite direction. Oh, lovely. And just like take one more roll. Allow the arms, shoulders to settle. Okay, let's just work with the head for a moment. So allowing the right ear to come over to the right shoulder, top of the shoulder. And then we'll just take a no here, just moving the head from side to side, nice and gently. So it's a nice soft massaging. Bring the head back into a neutral position. And if you feel that you want to just assist the head coming back to centre with the hand, you can do that. And then allow the opposite ear to come over. And then when you're ready, introducing very gently, just exploring how it is for you on this side, this no movement. Okay, and bringing the head back into neutral position again, and maybe just assisting that head to come back up. Okay, gather the knees together. Come into Dandasana, staff pose. Pop a block or a folded blanket underneath the seat if you need it. Then come up nice and long and tall through the spine, grounding down, maybe moving those fleshy parts of the buttocks away. And we're just going to practice a nice soft sage Mauritiasana posture. So maintaining the length through the spine, crown of the head working up. Let's fold through the left knee and then step that left foot over the right leg. Making sure that we're really engaged through that right leg. Nice and long through the spine. Hug the thigh in. And then very softly turning the body into the inner thigh. So turning towards the left and hugging that knee in. This back arm, we want to have this external rotation happening here in the shoulder. And then hug the arm into the back. And then as you do that, there may be more twisting available to you. So explore that, just exploring whether you can comfortably look over that back shoulder. What is it you can see behind you? Really hug the thigh in. Just remembering to remain active through the ankle. Breathing. You'll still be using your ujjayi. Taking one more round of breath. And then inhale. Release on the exhale, head first, then the rest of the body. And unravel the legs, come back to your Dandasana. Inhale, lengthen through the spine again. Exhale, folding. Right leg this time, step it over. Inhaling, hugging the thigh into the body, and then the arm comes around to hug in. Begin to turn into the thigh. So all this is incremental. Again, gradually working yourself round so that you can gaze over that shoulder. Breathing, active through the long leg. Inhale and release on the exhale again. Oh, lovely. So nice. So nice to do those twists. Okay, so we're going to come down onto the mat now and into Shavasana. Just so make yourself ready for Shavasana, but before we really settle into the posture, I'm going to come into a happy baby, but before we do that, let's just hug one knee into the chest. Release that down and then hug the other knee in. You can release that down and then allow the soles of the feet to just come together for a moment and rock through Baddha Konasana, supine Baddha Konasana. And draw the knees together and come into your happy baby. So maybe it's your peace fingers wrapping around the big toe, maybe you're taking hold of the outer edge of your feet. Draw those knees down, either side of the torso, shoulders nice and soft. And then if you'd like to, you can have a little bit of a rock from side to side. Quite nice just to massage into the back, helping to release some of the upper back muscles that were working very strongly through Dolphin and the plank. I'm getting a weird sort of clicking sound as I roll over onto my right hand side. And come back to centre. Okay, you're going to float those legs back down onto the mat. And then just notice before you perhaps lengthen down into Shavasana, you may want to tick-tock the knees from side to side. You may want to do that, you may not. You may be quite happy to just come down into corpse pose. So once you're there, settle into the posture, allowing the legs to be wide, maybe as wide as the mat, toes, feet rolling out. Think about walking shoulder blades down the back. Maybe just lift the head slightly to tuck the chin into the neck so that you can lengthen out through the back of the neck. Arms can be nice and soft, soft in the shoulder joint. And soft at the hip. So just bringing your awareness to your head. Getting a sense of feeling the full weight of your head. And allow the weight of the head to be really held by the ground. So what do you need to do to allow that to happen? And then bring your attention into the shoulders. Shoulders and the upper back. Allowing the full weight of the shoulder girdle and the upper back to descend down into the mat, being held by the earth. There's some melting, that sense of melting. And bringing your full attention to the hips. Allowing the same thing to take place here. And melting. Now get a sense of the whole of the upper, the whole of the back, the whole of the upper body. Heavy, soft. Then taking your attention down into the legs, into the ankles and the feet. Softening, allowing the full weight of the legs to begin to melt into the mat. And the whole body resting now. Bringing your awareness back to your body and back to your breath. Re-engaging with your breath. We're going to begin to work to wake up the body again by wriggling into fingers and toes. Rotating through our wrists, moving through our ankles. And then on your next inhale, taking a full body stretch and pointing the toes away and lengthening and yawning. Oh, as you exhale, draw the knees to the chest, pulling them in, hugging the knees in, and take a little rock from side to side. And then rolling over onto the side of your body and resting there. And then when you're ready, pressing your way up to a comfortable seat. And bringing the palms of the hands together. And just re-engaging again in our seat, spine active. And perhaps the eyes are closed. Just taking a moment now to wish all sentient beings well. May they be well, may they be peaceful. May all your family and friends be well, may they be peaceful. And may you be well, and may you be peaceful. And finally, may we all be well, may we all be peaceful. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Mhm. Nope. Just stop.